Do you know these moments where you feel like you just cannot be yourself? You feel like something is fundamentally wrong with you. You feel anxious, you feel confused, you feel disorganized, and you feel like you're in a conversation and you just want to leave the room and something else is taking over. This is a mask that you're wearing. And this mask that I just described is one of the more popular masks that many people in the trauma healing space, and you've probably also talked about before. It's shame. But besides the mask of shame, besides these feelings of I'm not good enough and I'm masking my true potential, I'm masking who I really am, and I don't want you to see who I am because that would mean pain to me. Yes, yes, yes. This is the common trauma narrative that we hear so often, and I want to get into that. Yes, we want to explore that today. There's also a second mask that I want to explore towards the end of that video that is vastly overlooked and that is actually like a pendulum swing towards shame and the second mask. So let's get into that. So trauma creates shame, the fundamental belief that I'm unlovable, that I'm not okay the way you are. Shame means when you make a mistake, you feel like you're a mistake. When you fail at something, that means you are a failure. And it's becoming this identity, that black hole of your emotion that sucks everything in, your entire experience, until not only you feel ashamed about all the so-called flaws that you have, but you also feel ashamed about yourself for feeling joy, until everything just feels wrong and doesn't feel good. And you need to mask that. You need to mask who you really are, because if you feel like this is not good enough here, why would you show that to the outside world, right? You're creating this mask that you wear and you're hiding behind that because being in connection, being in a relationship does not feel safe to you for the right reasons. Because maybe the connection in the past that you had with, for example, your parents in the classroom or with friends, maybe with a family member, didn't feel safe repeatedly, so you had to retract from the relationship in order to save yourself. But this mask was built and it's still living on. So, and here's the thing. This shame becomes an identity. And the second mask that happens when the pendulum swings in that way towards shame is pride. Oftentimes, we compensate our shame. We overcompensate it with feeling like, yeah, no, I don't need anyone. I can do this all by myself. I'm always strong. I'm the strong one. So you overcompensate this shame, this feeling of I'm not good the way I am, with I'm overly good the way I am. And no, I can do everything. I'm really, really good. And the pendulum swings to the other mask, but it's still masking a wound that wants to be met. You don't always want to be strong. I can tell you that, like, if you feel like someone that is always strong or that doesn't need anyone, I can tell you, first of all, you need other people. And second of all, you don't always want to be strong, because being strong takes energy. Being strong makes you lonely, because carrying a weight, a burden, especially when it comes to trauma with people that you love, that care about you, that believe in you together, is way more useful and way more helpful than doing it all by yourself. And this is shame. So the thing is, this is pride. Sorry, this is not shame, but pride and shame are the two sides of the same coin, so to speak. And the thing is, shame is sort of not really socially accepted. Like when you feel deeply ashamed of yourself, it does kind of the opposite of being social. You want to retract from social situations. You want to like, oh no, I don't want to see anyone today. I'm not good the way I am. And you like cocoon yourself in that shame, and you like cross out every relationship. What pride does, when you feel proud about yourself, like overly proud, when you actually feel ashamed, but the pride is covering that shame. It's yet another mask that is put on top of your face. That can be actually pretty socially acceptable, because you can be an overachiever. You can feel like you have it all. You have a good paying job. You're like the one that gets all the women, or like the woman that gets all the men, and you have a good career, you have your life together, you know all the trauma healing techniques, you've been to all the retreats, and you're posting on Instagram how amazing your life is. But deep down, you're priding yourself with all of these things, but deep down, you know, something within you knows that that's not true. that you actually feel ashamed of yourself, and you need to cover that shame with pride. So there's a independence that comes with pride, a sense of I now need to, I'm not disconnecting because I feel ashamed of myself. I'm disconnecting from others because I act like I don't need anyone. This is like the avoidant, the attached, if you're into attachment styles, this is more the avoidant leaning. Like, no, I don't need you. I want to do this by myself. And there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. But if you overcompensate this, if you are proud for the sake of covering something up instead of being proud for like actual achievements that fulfill your heart, but if your pride becomes something that has the intention of pushing other people away and signaling to your nervous system that you can do this all by yourself even though you shouldn't and you're burning out in the end, what is it worth? Deep down, you feel unworthy. You don't feel like you're worthy of being loved the way you are. So you have to put on a mask of pride in order to, like, almost you think you're like a magnet that then pulls in the love. Look at me, I'm so independent. And there may be people around you that say like, oh, you're achieving so much. Wow, you can do it all by yourself. That's so amazing. But deep down, you feel lost and alone. And if you don't feel that right now, you might feel that over the course of your life. It's getting worse and worse until you burn out. And then you're finally able, hopefully, to reach out to people and to uncover the part that was hidden within you. And there's actually 3 things that you need to do in order to heal that pendulum swing between shame and pride. And that is, first, you have to see and witness the mask. You have to establish like a sense of sensibility, a sense of catching yourself when you're either in the overcompensating pride, like inflating yourself like a balloon and saying, I'm the best. I'm the best. Look at me. And then in the next moment, I have this, honestly, like from time to time that I overcompensate with, oh, fuck, I did all of these things. Look at me. But then in the next moment, I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't feel like I'm good the way I am. And it's like inflated, deflated, inflated, deflated. It's like a workout. Now it's really, really exhausting. And you have to catch yourself. See the mask. That is the first step. Always, healing always starts with awareness and our ability to detach and to unblend from our experience and from the parts that are driving our life. And the second thing is, and this might be like contrary to what you might feel comes next, is you have to accept the mask. You don't want to get rid of the mask. Because in getting rid of the mask, you get rid of a part that just wants to be loved, that doesn't want to be rejected. Probably that part that has established the mask in the first place has felt a lot of rejection. That's why the shame was created in the first place. So you want to do the opposite thing. You want to be compassionate towards yourself for having the mask. Being like, fuck yeah, this is exhausting. And yeah, this is really hard. Really tuning into that. Keep getting in touch with your body. I have several videos here on how you find acceptance for your feelings, but it's necessary. Because if you try to push the mask away, then you're pushing a part of you away that just wants to be loved. So you want to accept that. You want to embrace it and say, hey, come be my guest. Let's sit down at the table. Like, what this is really about. And then you got to feel what's underneath. Because underneath the shame, there can be like a variety of feelings that were trapped and buried under the shame or under the pride. It could either be that you buried your sadness, that you buried your anger, and that wants to come out. Yeah, actually, I'm deeply, deeply angry at everyone. I don't want to keep myself small the entire time. I want to be big. I want to be big, but I feel like I can't be big. And that is sad. And oh my God, there's this whole emotional world that is going on beneath the shame. What are you not allowing yourself to show, either to yourself, or what are you keeping from those around you? What emotions, what thoughts do you need to uncover? What is underneath that mask of pride, of shame, of pride, of shame? What is underneath the inflation and the deflation? So this reconnection is a return to your authenticity. And authenticity is kind of a paradox because we treat authenticity like it's a certain state that we can reach or this ideal that we can reach. Let me tell you this, or let me give you like food for thought. Can you be authentically inauthentic? Is that possible? Like if you're catching yourself while being inauthentic, isn't that authentic then again? So authenticity simply means reconnecting to what is here already. If you feel ashamed about yourself, and if under that shame there's anger, and actually you don't really know what's going on, if you bring that into connection with yourself and with someone else, then you are being authentic. And I believe that this reconnection that I'm talking about here, these 3 things that you can do, seeing the mask and accepting the mask and feeling what's underneath that mask and bringing that into connection with someone that you trust, or doing like a journaling or whatever floats your boat, bringing that really to the forefront and work with it. Get to know the parts beneath it. I believe that makes you more authentic. And being more authentic doesn't mean you have to become more open, because that, again, could be like a pride response. Oh, I'm authentic now. Yeah, I've understood it all. But what if you're feeling down and alone and small? Can you be authentic with that? Can you remove the mask of shame from that and tell people like, hey, I really feel like shit today. Can you be here for me? Don't make yourself bigger than you are in this moment. Also, don't make yourself smaller than you are in that moment. Remove the mask and simply show up in the way you are. And this is giving a signal to these parts and to your nervous system as well, because it's signaling that your relationships, the outside world, is actually safe. It's nothing you need to run away from. It's nothing that you need to mask and you need to push away. It's actually safe to be here. Relationships are safe. And actually, maybe, even though I might feel I'm small, even though I might feel I'm angry and I deserve love, maybe you can make the experience that in all of that, you are worthy. You are okay the way you are. And you deserve love. And you deserve a good life, however that looks like for you. That happiness and joy and connection are for you, and that you don't need to become anyone. You need to become big in order to get that. That you can just allow yourself to show up the way you are, get into connection, get into a relationship the way you are, and just be yourself. And this sounds easy, but I believe it's one of the hardest things a human being can do. Show up in a relationship with the pain that I've been repressing for my entire life, telling all the secrets that I normally don't tell to anyone, because I think if I do that, I will be left alone. That is powerful. It takes courage. And it takes you seeing the mask and accepting it. And if you cannot accept that yourself, maybe finding someone that you can show the mask to, and maybe that person is like, yeah, okay, I can see that you're suffering beneath that, but I accept you. It's no big deal. So these are the 2 masks that we're wearing on our trauma healing journey, the shame and the pride. And this is how you can stop the pendulum swing between the 2. Let me know in the comments how this video resonated, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.